also it is common when people who stutter move their diaphragm muscle, because someone advised them to do so. But there is also no air container in our stomach. This is why all these diaphragm breathing exercises do not make any sense, and also they're extremely harmful and useless. I want you to understand, if you move your diaphragm, then the CO2 gas may come out from your anus. You may fart, sorry for this language, but it will never get up to your mouth and will never come out of it. Through your mouth, it may come out only as burping from your stomach air, but not from your lungs. This is why all your muscle movements of your stomach and shoulders, or whatever else they tell you to move, will never ever move the CO2 gas out from your lungs. Your muscle movements will never direct the CO2 gas through your vocal cords, which is our resonatory microphone. And then it will not move it through the tongue, which is a flag flapping in the wind. And finally, these muscle movements will not push the air further and make it exit from the hole. So let's look once again at this bicycle horn. Our speech instrument contains the same exact parts that this instrument is built of. Here, this rubber ball represents our lungs. Here is the pipe, right here. And here is the exit hole, right? It is just like a bicycle horn. We have the rubber ball is here, a CO2 container. Then we have a pipe, and at the end of the pipe there is a hole, our mouth. That's all. And of course, in the middle of the pipe, just like in this bicycle horn, there is a tiny hole. The edges of this hole are our vocal cords. When the air is getting through the hole, the edges of the hole begin to vibrate and create voice, just like in bicycle horn. So here you have exactly the same speech pipe, but you use it incorrectly. You use it blindly. Why? Because when we are rushing while doing anything, we do not notice even a half of our own actions. And people who stutter are always in a hurry. Let's say it faster. Let's say a whole sentence at once. Say more words at once. Let's shorten everything. Essentially, their goal is to destroy themselves and their own speech, to eliminate their own ability to operate this simple speech instrument adequately. But please understand that your speech instrument is a physical thing, just like this bicycle horn. You should adjust to it and never expect that the instrument will adjust to you. This will never happen. For example, will the guitar adjust to your fingers? You're gonna keep your fingers here and the guitar will move to your fingers. Will it ever happen? Or maybe the piano. You put your fingers like this, you're gonna move them like this, and piano is going to adjust to where your fingers are. Or maybe a pencil. You're gonna keep your pencil and the paper will move, right? Or maybe a shovel. You're gonna hold the shovel and the soil will move. Do you see how ridiculous it is? A person must adjust to the tool. And it should happen without any forceful abuse. Once again, this is the tool. Our body machine is a tool, an instrument. No matter how much force you will apply to the piano, it will never play better, will it? It's you who should understand its mechanism and precise instructions of how to operate it. Your body is a device operated with the power of your mind. Do not expect that after taking a pill or after someone will just snap their fingers, your body will adjust and your speech instrument will begin producing words on its own. People who stutter like to operate their body with force. They constantly press their muscles here, there, but it is all useless and only causes a stupor. Nothing will change in your life until you stop abusing your body and begin using your brain. Each stupor is similar to how a monkey would interact with a cell phone. Imagine a monkey pushing various buttons on the phone. Can it make a call? Even if it did dial by accident the correct number, or someone trained it to dial the correct numbers, and someone picked up the phone and said hello, the monkey would get scared, drop the phone, and scream, ah, 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 because it has no idea how to use the device. The same interaction with unfamiliar object we may observe if we give an infant a guitar. What will the baby do with it? First of all, the baby will lick it with the tongue, try it, how it tastes. It also may break the guitar, or most likely it will simply become disinterested in this guitar. Why? Because the child has no idea yet what this object should be used for and how to operate it. Such state of uncertainty is called a stupor. Stupor can be not only mechanical, it can be of a different nature. One of the main stupors is a so-called eye stupor. This occurs when a person loses the field of his perception. For example, when a person reads out loud, he looks at the written text but doesn't really see it. This is why he begins to substitute words, mixes up word endings, doesn't notice vowels, and not sure about the emphasis. He sees a set of letters, but he doesn't see or understand the structure of the whole spoken word. As you already know, standard human speech is a stream of CO2 gas. So every spoken word is a certain stream of a CO2 gas. This is why looking at letters when you want to speak is extremely misleading, because the letters are just a stream of ink. While we are writing with our hand, the ink is coming out of a pen, and we leave a stream of ink on the paper, right? But those two streams, the stream of gas and the stream of ink, have very little in common. It is just some symbolic link between a letter and a certain stream of gas. Yes, it exists sometimes, very, very rarely. For example, the ink stream of letter I matches the gas stream of the word I. This is the closest match I could find in English language. Here is another example. If we leave the ink stream of two letters, E, on the piece of paper, it's supposed to match one gas stream of E. So this is kind of also a match, but not really close, because we write two letters, right? Two streams of ink, and only one sound, E. So when we produce whole words, such symbolic rules rarely work. I couldn't find too many of them. In fact, there are more exceptions in English language spelling than rules to follow. Why? Because most of the time, pronunciation and spelling of the same word are different. For example, When we write the word love, we leave 4 letters, 4 streams of ink on the piece of paper. Letter L, O, V, and E. But when we say this same word, we leave only 3 streams of gas in the air. It's L, A, V, love. We do not sound out the last letter, letter E. There is mismatch right there in this word. Another example is my favorite. It is the word thought. Here you see how we write it. We write it with 7 letters, 7 ink streams of the writing instrument, hand. Letter T, H, O, U, G, H, T, right? And when we say the same word, we have to create only 3 sounds, 3 gas streams of the speech instrument. It's th or t, thought. Just listen carefully how different it is from the way we spelled with letters. Note that each spoken word has a specific, precise, and unbreakable melody with 1, rarely 2, emphasis. Those who recommend you should break words in parts and practice saying these words in separate parts, syllables, separate sounds, they are doing you a huge disservice. Why? Because after years of training to speak in broken words, in parts of the words, in syllables, in separate sounds, and to emphasize each vowel in these words, you will learn and master such unnatural way of speaking. Computer, dictionary. Does it sound natural? Of course not. As a matter of fact, it's not even speaking. I call it chanting. When you emphasize every vowel sound. Normal people say each word only as a whole sound sequence and with only 1 emphasis. In long words, yeah, there are exceptions. In long words, sometimes we do emphasize more than 1 vowel, 2 vowels. Here are pretty long words, computer and dictionary. When we say these words, we emphasize only 1 vowel. Computer, dictionary. This emphasis is always precise. We cannot say computer or computer, right? And we cannot say dictionary or dictionary. Can you hear the difference? Most people who stutter are totally lost when I ask this question. They have no idea what the emphasis in each word is. How can we say a word if we are not sure how it is supposed to sound? This is a mental or informational stupor, block. This type of a stupor takes place because a person who stutters doesn't understand what speech really is and how to produce words in the auditory format of a sound, tune, a melody. They perceive words in a written format, but we say every word as we hear it with our ears. We speak as we hear, and not in the way we see it with our eyes. People who stutter have very limited auditory vocabulary. Yeah, they know words as a set of letters. They know how to spell words, but not as a set of sounds. Too many words that they even have in their memory in the auditory format, spoken words. Still, these words are broken in parts. They are made of a mixture of 50% sounds and 50% with letters. And this mixture is totally unnatural, and it cannot be ever used for speaking. First, it needs to be sorted out and organized in the memory of a person, so he or she will understand that this is the way I'm supposed to write this word, and this is the way I'm supposed to say it.